Are the biblical Rephaim, the Nephilim, and the ancient giants related? Legends of giants are present in almost all mythologies. Perhaps you will not find a single race on earth which would not tell you about some giants rising to the skies and famous for their remarkable strength. Greek mythology emphasizes the dominance of giants known as the Titans and their subsequent overthrow, and it was from ancient Greece that the familiar to us myth of the Atlanteans holding the vault of heaven came, but who these Titans and Atlanteans were is not clear for certain. Zeus and the Olympian gods led the Titans to their fall. As for Atlantis, the ancient philosophers clearly spoke of its existence and subsequent flooding. It was also said that the inhabitants of Atlantis were tall. Giants are also mentioned in Egypt, Sumeria, Old Slavic, Scandinavian, Japanese, Chinese, and Native American mythologies. In Hinduism, they act under the name of Asuras. They are giants in biblical sources as well. The ancient Hebrews knew about the mysterious civilizations of Titans, peculiar half-breeds, children of fallen angels and mortal women. And in the Old Testament, the pre-Jewish texts of Canaan, there are references to the Rephaim race, also called the Rephaites or Rephaim. In the Septuagint and Vulgate, this word was translated as giants. Also, this name began to be called the wicked, those who were far from holiness and purity as well, the dead, the terrible, the terrifying. The Jews also called the tall tribes of Palestine the Philistines, preserved from antediluvian times. Also mentioned are the Nephilim, angelic beings from whom the Rephaim subsequently descended. The book of Job says, "The Rephaim tremble under the waters, and those who dwell in them." It's noteworthy that the phrase "under the waters" is noted here, which reminds us all the same ancient legend of the sunken Atlantis. The Rephaim can also be identified with the Nephilim. In the book of Enoch, the Nephilim are the children of humans and the guardian angels, while the Rephaim are the offspring of humans and fallen angels. In apocryphal tales, the Rephaim are said to be terrible monsters, 18 cubits tall, and with 16 rows of teeth and 6 fingers and 6 toes. Their remarkable physical strength and ferocity were noted. The place of residence of the Rephaims was supposedly in the lands of the Ammonites or the land of Bashan and Moab, but their true homeland remains unknown. After the arrival of the Jews in Palestine, the giants were particularly absent from these lands. Legends say that there were some tribes in which tall people lived. The Rephaim includes Goliath, the mysterious giant warrior who fought on the side of the Philistines, previously the people of the seas. We know that the Philistines, as said in the Old Testament, were also from Crete of ancient Greece. Everyone knows the myth about how David defeated the giant Goliath with one blow of his sling, and obviously Goliath was still a man and not a supernatural entity. So he had a human body, he had a body. It turns out that if Goliath was really considered a descendant of the Rephaims, his distant ancestry hardly looked as described in the apocryphal legends. It's likely that these giants could be a subspecies of humans existed before the flood or even the Ice Age. Science denies the existence of civilizations before the glaciers, the Ice Age, but this does not mean that they did not exist. Also, this does not prove that after the fall of the pre-civilizations, their representatives completely evaporated. Some of them straggled along. Now, chronicles say that at least 4 more giants fought on the side of the Philistines against the Jews and the people of Palestine. The famous one was Ishbi-Benob, whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass. Ishbi-Benob was aware of David's popularity after his victory over Goliath, but the battle between the giant and the Jewish king never took place. Ishbi-Benob was not killed by David, but by Abishai, the son of Saruin. Goliath had a brother named Lahmi, who was smitten by El-Hanam. Also, a Rephaim warrior named Saphuth fought for the Philistines, but he was defeated by another hero of ancient times, Sovohai. The name of the fourth Rephaim on the side of the people of the sea is not mentioned. The Bible talks about abnormalities in his body and 6 fingers. This giant was already defeated by Jonathan, the son of David's brother. The Philistines lost their war against the Jews and then completely disappeared as a race. Together with them, their tales and myths disappeared. Therefore, science recognizes the legendary giants of antiquity as nothing more than a fiction of the chroniclers. But why then are they mentioned almost everywhere? Were they a byproduct of humanity's collective fantasy? It was hardly possible in such ancient times. The question of who exactly the Rephaim were still remains unanswered, but whoever they were, they no longer exist in our world, unless they're hiding, we can't find them. And if their civilization was considered powerful on Earth, then these times have sunk forever into oblivion. The only trace left of them is myths and legends, it appears. This is on Solask. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.